On a quiet Saturday afternoon in northwest Harris County, a neighborhood security camera captured what first appeared to be a completely ordinary moment. At 2:07 p.m., two young boys slowly rode their bicycles down the street and stopped in front of a house. They began speaking to the woman who lived there. From the footage, nothing about the interaction seemed unusual, but according to neighbors, the 59-year-old woman had a tense history with people in the area. Some residents claim she struggled with serious mental health issues and that her behavior had become increasingly unpredictable. Earlier that day, neighbors said she had been arguing with people nearby and even vandalizing a vehicle.
Lately, it's been getting worse. I guess as her mental illness gets worse, her brain gets worse, so she starts doing crazier things. Just this morning, she was stealing things from her yard guy's truck and was vandalizing their vehicle.
Eventually, the boys rode away, and for a moment, everything seemed to settle down. But about 10 minutes later, the camera recorded something far more disturbing. The boys returned. This time, they were wearing gloves, one with oversized blue gloves and the other with black ones. They parked their bikes and slowly approached the house again. Suddenly, the older boy pulled something from his pants and rushed into the woman's garage. Moments later, the boys fled back to their bikes and rode away. Inside the garage, the woman collapsed after being stabbed. By coincidence, her brother arrived shortly afterward to check on her and found her critically injured. She was airlifted to a hospital for emergency surgery.
Her brother came and checked by just to check up on her. He checks on her daily. At that point, he just came at the right time. He opened the door and saw that she was stabbed.
Investigators later revealed something shocking. The attackers were only 12 and 7 years old, children from the very same neighborhood. The older boy was eventually taken into custody and charged with aggravated assault with serious bodily injury. As the investigation continued, even more troubling details began to emerge. The boy's mother later revealed that the 12-year-old had been struggling with serious mental health issues for years, even spending time in psychiatric treatment programs. But the most unsettling part of the entire case is the surveillance footage itself, and why the boys decided to do it. When the mother of the 12-year-old was asked this question, she said, "She was cussing at them and yelling at them and trying to hit them with a rake." It was around 11 a.m. on February 27, 2025, at a self-service car wash in Frankston, in Melbourne Southeast. The morning looked completely normal. A woman had pulled into a bay on the corner of Cranbourne Road and Lindrum Road. Nothing about the moment seemed unusual. Then, without warning, a man suddenly approached her. According to police, the man had already been acting aggressively around the area, threatening another woman nearby and demanding car keys. But the woman at the car wash likely had no idea what was about to happen. Security footage captured the moment the situation turned violent. For several terrifying seconds, she was alone. However, a few witnesses rushed in to help. The sudden intervention forced the attacker to abandon the attempt and flee on foot. But the witness didn't stop there. He followed the man from a distance and called the authorities while tracking his movements. Soon after, the suspect tried to escape by boarding a bus. Police intercepted the vehicle not long after. In dramatic footage captured later, officers dragged the suspect off the bus in a forceful takedown, ending a chaotic morning that had started with what should have been a routine car wash. On March 26, 2024, a peaceful afternoon on Highway 84 in Fremont turned into one of the most disturbing and chaotic moments police had seen in years. What started as a routine alert from a license plate reader would spiral into something almost unimaginable.
Front onwards towards 84. Traffic is moderate. Number 3 lane moderate traffic. Oh, you just keep on the other end. Just maybe continuing.
A stolen vehicle had been flagged and an officer was dispatched, expecting a typical stop. But the moment the officer tried to pull the car over, the driver, a man named Gloria, sped off recklessly, striking other vehicles in a desperate bid to escape. Every second that passed felt like the calm before a storm, the afternoon twisting into something sinister. The chase ended when the car suddenly stopped, disabled along the roadside. For a brief, eerie moment, everything seemed frozen. the traffic, the officer, even time itself. Then, without warning, the suspect, Joshua Gloria, emerged and opened fire on the officer. Gunshots rang out, echoing across the highway. The officer took cover, returning fire in a tense standoff that lasted only moments, but felt endless. When the shooting ended, Gloria had been struck and later died.
Vehicle yielding. Shots fired. 1199. Shots fired.
The footage, later released by police, captured a scene so chaotic, mysterious, and chilling that witnesses and investigators alike described it as one of the most disturbing confrontations they had ever seen. The sky over Milwaukee darkened with an unspoken tension as Big Blue, one of the largest cranes ever used in the city, towered above the Miller Park Stadium.
What's going on here? Okay, watch it, watch it! Shit! Sit! Sit! Yeah. Sit!
Workers watched silently, unaware that the ground beneath their feet would soon erupt into chaos. What started as a routine lift of a massive steel roof segment turned into a nightmare in seconds. It was 5:12 p.m. on July 14th, 1999. 3 ironworkers, Jeffrey Wisher, William DeGrave, and Jerome Starr, were on a suspended observation platform, witnessing the lift. A federal OSHA inspector was filming that day, capturing the horrifying moment on camera. Watching the footage now is terrifying. Investigators later discovered the crane was operating beyond its design limits, poorly maintained and mismanaged by multiple contractors. Yet nothing in paperwork could prepare anyone for the horrifying reality as Big Blue fell. It was like any other day at a suburban Denver convenience store. The clerk was busy in the back when a woman approached the counter with her baby. Everything seemed routine, until it wasn't. The mother suddenly had a glazed, distant look in her eyes. Something wasn't registering. The clerk instinctively moved closer, speaking softly, trying to understand if she needed help. Then, in an instant, the situation turned terrifying. The woman collapsed, and the baby began slipping from her arms. Without thinking, the clerk grabbed the infant, heart racing, and yelled for a nearby customer to call 911.
911. Emergency, quick. Ma'am, what's going on? A girl just fell on the floor. I need help. I need an ambulance. This girl came in carrying a baby. I seen her starting to sway, so I took the baby out of her arms right away, and she fell on the floor.
The baby was safe, but the mother was seizing violently, trapped in a seizure no one could stop. For minutes that felt like hours, the clerk stayed on the phone with emergency dispatchers, following instructions to ensure the woman was breathing and would survive until paramedics arrived. The baby was passed to another bystander, safe from harm. Days later, the mother returned to thank the clerk, tears in her eyes. Had this woman not been there, the outcome could have been catastrophic.